Happy hump day, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, Crystal Jordan, with Rolling Out, and I'm here getting ready to do this interview with Kiyomi Leslie. She just checked in. She should be jumping back on here in just a second, so you guys be patient with me. But while we're waiting, I want to talk to the ladies out there. I feel like most of my audience is ladies, and I wanted to do question of the day. I'm going to ask Kiyomi when she jumps on. Question of the day today. So my auntie in my head, Jennifer Lewis, right? Daily Mail had a story. Jennifer Lewis comes out and acknowledges that she was scammed by a man. Every woman, no matter how old or how young, has been a fool for some man at some time. We all have. Jennifer Lewis admits she was a fool for a man to the tune of $53,000. Dude comes in her life, sweeps her off her feet, kind of like a fall from grace, right? Kind of like Tyler Perry's fall from grace. Sweeps her off her feet, and the next thing you know, she's giving him $53,000. I want to talk about that. Kiyomi Leslie just jumped on, so I want to bring her on the screen. Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Welcome to Reality Check. So we talk about relationships, and my question of the day, I wanted to bring you into this conversation. I was talking to the ladies here. Most of our audience is female, so we talk about, relationships, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the Daily Mail put out a story that Jennifer Lewis, everybody loves Jennifer Lewis, the actress. She's on Blackish. She plays the mom, Anthony Anderson's mother on Blackish. She's fabulous. She's absolutely fabulous. But she came and she actually admitted that a guy got her. He came in her life, swept her off her feet. He seemed too good to be true. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, she had loaned him $53,000. $53,000, and he also got some other women too. Obviously, he targets wealthy women. $53,000 for a business that did not exist.
Wow.
So my question of the day is: have you ever? I think every woman, no matter how old, young, smart, fly, whatever, has been a fool for some man at some time.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a part of growing and being in a relationship and learning the rules to a relationship is to go through it. I have been a fool in love. Now, I've not loaned anybody $53,000, but I've done some crazy things in love.
What's the craziest thing? I'll admit, I didn't loan anybody $53,000 because I have not had $53,000 too long. However, I can admit, especially I got married super young, got divorced when I was super young also, probably like in my early 30s. And I started dating, didn't really know how to dating a guy that kind of looked the way I like him to look because I like pretty things.
Right.
And with me, I was a single mom. I was all about my kids, and guys know how to get you where you are, right? So this guy was, I'm a single dad. I'm taking care of my kids. And he told me he didn't have food for his kids, and could he just borrow $200 till he got paid? Now, I don't usually loan dudes money, but I felt bad for him, so I loaned him money. I loaned him $200, and he never paid me back. He acted like he didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, he was busy. I really wanted to take my friends by his house and have him beat up. I was so pissed about God. But, I think every woman, like I said, because you just, men be on some different stuff sometimes.
Right.
You don't feel me? Don't act like Jennifer Lewis and I'm the only one.
No, I definitely agree. I've gone through crazy things. And I think it's so unheard of for men to be gold diggers or, after a woman. And it can't, I say all the time, it doesn't have to necessarily be financial. It could be for other reasons that a man can gold dig. He can gold dig because she has a lot of, a clout. So most of these guys are going after Black China and girls with a, high profile name because they want to be known. Maybe they want to boost their music career. Maybe they want to get in the limelight.
Right.
So, I don't think it's just women. I think it's Anybody who feels like they want to get into a relationship for the wrong reasons with advantages that they can they're gonna do it. I say I've dealt with the whole money situation. Being a entertainer, it was like I had a unlimited supply of money, so I was more so, dating guys who, which is crazy because now I get the question, do you date guys who were not in the industry? And I'm like, I dated guys who were not in the industry, and it just didn't work. I was always paying for something, or can I come over your house because I'm in between places right now? Can I drive your car? Or I'm down bad right now, can you loan me? Like that is a turnoff to me. Especially when I'm a young woman and I'm out here working hard trying to get it myself. Like if I'm incapable, and to me it was more so serious because I felt like if I'm doing a job that's so humbling, because being an entertainer, adult entertainer, is a humbling experience. It's just like, being a waitress or being a pedicure person. It's humbling. So if I can get out here and do what I do, it's no way you can't get out here and make your own money and work hard, just like I'm trying to.
Right. Absolutely. So I just, ladies, if y'all could just, get in the comments and let us know, because I think that women, as women, we have to share our experiences, because that's really the only way that other women can learn. Right. So if you don't talk about it, and it doesn't really, it doesn't help somebody else that may be going through something. So I think that that's true. And what you said is right. Men have kind of flipped the script now. So you find a lot of men that are after women for their money, or after them for their clout, or what their position can do for them, and all of that. So that's definitely something I think people should, women should share their experiences, no matter how good or how bad. Everybody got men, women, rich, poor, smart,
anybody. And I think another thing to add to that is just basically like we have to use our brain instead of our heart when it comes to getting in these relationships, because a lot of the times, sometimes your higher power gives you all of the signs
every time
something is going wrong, and we go against it. Your higher power will throw you everything but a stop sign, and you feel like, you throw me the stop sign, and then I'll know this is it. This is the final straw. Like I can never say that in any of my relationships that failed, or that something wasn't right, that I did not have a sign that it was, or I failed to listen to the signs. I'm like, okay, this guy talks aggressively to women. This guy, he doesn't see anything wrong with not opening the door for a woman. Those type of things that let me know right off rip if a guy he was mentally.
Right. Now I gotta tell you, I met you. I actually interviewed you probably about 2 years ago when you were in a relationship with Bow Wow. We did a cover. Rolling Out did a cover for Bow Wow. I came out to his house in the pool. You guys were super in love. It was, and I gotta say, just he was very insistent. We wanted to interview him. We wanted to put him on the cover because of things that he had going on. He was insistent that you be on the cover with him. He wouldn't do it unless you were on the cover with him. He wouldn't do the interview unless you were in the interview with them. And at the time, we were just like, okay, but we just kind of really wanted you. And he was like, he was very adamant about that. So I remember sitting down with the two of you guys, and he was so, y'all were in that honeymoon stage, right? So he was just like met up, and then I didn't ever want her to go home, and she didn't want to go home. Yeah. And so then later, when the cover came out, some issues had happened, and one of my good girlfriends called and said, Crystal, don't talk about what happened, but she's not going to be able to be a part of the party because some stuff happened. Some stuff went down. Some domestic violence stuff went down. So I was being cool, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything about that. So, but I knew what was going on. I didn't want to talk about it. So share with people what happened between that honeymoon stage, where he's like, I'm going to put your music out. I'm going to do everything for her. And you're just sitting there. I was like, okay, this little girl got him all the way locked down. What happened?
yeah, those were good times. I can't say anything negative about that. But I think, what our relationship was ran its course. And for me, like I said, there are always signs. And what I don't think a lot of people understand is that for me, that relationship was my first real relationship. I hadn't been in a real relationship, since high school.
Right.
And I was all for making the necessary changes on my end to make, my partner feel like a king, because that's what I'm for. And I think that's what motivated him to do the things that he was doing for me, because he's like, I have this girl here. She's just, she's different, because I wasn't excited by the glitz and glamour. And, that's what I said many times. I'm like, I don't care. I just want you. Like, I don't care about any of this. Like, I'm very shy. So it took a lot for me to even want to be in the public light. But I think the signs for me were moving really fast. If I had done my research, I would have realized that a lot of those relationships ended very quickly and did not on good terms.
You mean his past relationships?
His past relationships were not all, none of them that I know of. And if I'm wrong, tell me, because, the research that I've done is that it was not one relationship that ended on great terms. And so if I had researched a little bit earlier, it may have, impacted my decisions to get into a relationship faster without actually knowing who.
You know what? I wouldn't even say that, because it's hard to know what's real and what's not. Right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't suggest that women research what other women went through.
Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying as far as the accusations of why the relationships ended.
Okay.
If one person says you did something to them, okay, granted, it may have been a miscommunication, something, if a lot of women keep saying the same things or telling the same story, then you have to look at it like,
it is right.
there may be some truth in the story. It may not all be true, but there may be some truth in the story. And I think for me, that's what I'm saying about it all. Like, I didn't know who I was talking to. And like I told you in the interview a while back, like, I didn't do research on him because I don't believe what blogs say about people. 90% of the time, they're just putting out information just because it's relevant and they want to be the next top hot thing. So I'm saying for me, I wasn't aware of every situation, bad or good. And had I known that, I would have taken my time instead of diving first.
Right. That's fair. And I think that's probably a good lesson, period, is to kind of take our time with relationships. Can you talk a little bit about the signs? Because it's weird. I heard listening to 107.9 the other night, and they were saying that because of everybody being quarantined and people being in the house, right? Domestic violence cases are going through the roof. And I think a lot of times women get into something, especially with and it can go both ways. Because I think women are domestic abusers as well.
And very verbally abusive.
Very, very.
I'm not.
Yeah. Sometimes we say stuff and we know that's going to trigger some stuff. But what signs did you see when it was the two of you guys, so that some people, because I think women get in things and you don't know what's going to happen until it's out of control. So what were some of those red flags that you saw before it got to that point?
I really just don't want to talk about like me and Shad's relationship, because although it was a very, up down roller coaster relationship, I think that there are signs with any relationship that I've been in that I've seen, because, although this was my first really physically abusive relationship, I've been in a relationship and I've seen other relationships, family members, friends be in domestic violence situation, and I've heard the stories. So I think some of those would be like, being aggressive towards women, the way you talk to a woman or talk
Right.
about women, to
Right.
me, it was a clear sign of like, okay, this person may not respect women if they talk very negatively about women.
Right.
Or to them, because you have a mother, you have children, you have women who are around you, and you don't respect women in general. It
Right.
says something about who you are.
Right.
I think not being able to communicate, without yelling or raising your voice or arguing. Most people, they're able to talk without raising their voice and communicate what it is that they don't agree on, without becoming condescending.
Right. Yeah.
And I think also it's just how you treat yourself as well.
Yeah.
Drinking, smoking, and all of those things come into play. So anybody, whether it's a woman or a male, if I'm drunk, I might act totally different from how I am now, but I don't drink, and that is a part of the reason why, because I just don't like that person or who I could be, as far as sloppy.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right. No, that's real. That's I agree with everything that you said. I think it's really like, I think the realest thing you just said is how you treat yourself, right? And so a lot of times, if people, that the internal problem they have with themselves is really the issue, and then you're in a relationship with them, and it's a reflection of them not having control of their own life. So I just think it's important when things like this happen, that women, it doesn't have to be on a blog like this or conversation, but just talking to other women about it, because you never know who you can help by telling your story, because somebody else could be here in a situation that is about to go there. And a lot of times women blame themselves, right? So if you hear somebody else saying that, then you realize, oh, that's not normal. You know what I mean? I'm going through that. That's not normal. So I applaud the fact that you're speaking about it. But I also like the fact that you're not trying to tarnish him, you know what I mean, in a over the top way. So I respect that. Now, then you were on Growing Up Hip Hop. Now you're on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now you're in a relationship you're in an open relationship. So I wanted you to come on and talk to us about, because I hear this so often. I mean, I live in Atlanta. Atlanta is all about the open relationships. Like that is a very, very hot topic here. Tell me.
I think we get caught up on the word open. I really do.
Because did you hear Kalani talking about her relationship, how she had an open relationship? She didn't really care about the guy having sex with other people. She cared about him being honest. So kind of clear up for what do you think? What do you mean when you say that you were in an open relationship with Shooter?
For me, I think what needs to be clarified is that open does not, for me, what open means for the majority of people, I consider it to be an adult relationship. Okay. We're adults. I can't stop you. And I think what people need to understand is that I just got out of something that was built on lies, secrets, like, everything negative. And I felt like I don't want to control a person.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people saw me as being this controlling, jealous girlfriend, and that's totally not me. And I'm sorry that was how I was portrayed, but that's totally not me. And I think that, like, when you get out of something like that, you just need time for yourself. And what that means is clarity. I wanted to be clear with who I was dealing with about what I wanted. And that's an adult relationship. Being clear that right now, I like spending time with you. But I'm not looking for anything serious. I want to get to know you more. I love your vibe.
Right.
And for me, what that means now is if you like me and you want to get to know me, that we agree that what we're doing is something we're getting to know each other. And once we get to that level of, okay, I want to date exclusively, we think it's going to work.
Right.
Then we'll say, okay, look, these are the boundaries, because I don't have, it's not a lot of stuff that bothers me.
Okay.
I'm not promoting promiscuous behavior, but some things may not bother me like it bothers another woman. You calling somebody.
When you say some things, are you talking about? Because that's really the only thing that bothers most women is cheating. Cheating bothers most women.
Right.
So, and I think cheating is two parts of cheating. It could be the actual intimacy, and then it's the lying. So, are you not bothered by the intimacy, but bothered by the lying, or the whole thing? How do you look at that? And I think that's a generational thing too.
I think for me, I'm just not bothered by the act of physically laying with somebody. I don't want you to think that I'm saying like, oh, sleep with whoever you want to. But I just being so, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like my mentality is just like a man is going to do whatever he wants to do. And I think that we're all adults, and I want a man to be able to control himself. And I think if in a part of dating, if I'm trying to get to know you and you can't control yourself, like if it becomes a problem for me, if it's a deal breaker for me, then I'm going to prove myself, because it's no longer positively serving me. Like if you can control yourself and your hormones, I want to be on a level with the man so high that sex is not even the foundation. Because a lot of women build relationships based on sex, and then you feel like if you're not having sex with him, then he's going to leave you. I want someone to choose me always because they want to, because of the emotional, physical, and mental relationship that we have, and not just the physical.
Do you think that women have, because I've heard a lot of young women say that you can't control men, they're going to do what they're going to do, so I'm okay with that. But do you think if I said, Kiyomi, you can meet a man and this was reality, right? And he was going to be amazing to you. He was going to be only with you sexually, and he was not going to lie, and he was going to be a good provider. Would you opt for that? Or so are you guys saying that I'm open to this because I don't think that there are any men who are faithful? Or is it that you just really enjoy a relationship where there is that? Do you want to also be open as well? Because I feel like y'all are making that because
like
options.
It's selfish to think that men are the only ones who see people and find them attractive. I'm not.
True.
I want to say like I'm able to do what I want to do. I'm not saying that a man, oh yeah, well he's able to do what he wants to do, and I'm gonna just sit in the house and wait on him. No.
Okay.
What I want to get is like me and Shooter were never like okay on the long lines of marriage. Like we were never there. Just because him and Cheyenne said that they had been dating for 2 years. Whether production told you guys clearly or fully or not, we were talking for 2 years. So that's, but you know how editing goes, and they want to make it entertaining. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Though. Then that means everybody's just dating. Why is it even a relationship? It's just
the problem, the deal breaker for me was when I said what I was clear about is that with me dating you, with me just getting out of something that was just so public, I don't want to be confronted by no female about no dude, because you're not my dude. We just have fun. You say that you like me. You're the one that I'm dealing with the most out of anybody right now. And I really like you, and I want to see where we could go. And I'm saying, okay, but give me time. Give me time to see who you are. I don't want to just jump into a relationship and say, you're my man. Let's be clear. Shooter wanted a relationship.
Right.
I said I wanted to
take it slow.
Yeah, take it slow. And he was fine with that. Okay, cool. And I said, okay, let's be honest. Are you sleeping with anybody else but me? He was honest. So I can't be mad at that.
Right. That's true.
And I think what a lot of people saw on television is like me going back and forth with her. But the only reason why I went back and forth with her is because whether or not you saw it, there was a lot of communication on me and her side where she was be this, be that, and da-da-da-da. And now, my pride and my ego, we all have
between the two of you guys as opposed to involving him.
Yeah.
It did seem like at least from the scenes that we saw on the show, because I know editing can happen, but it did seem like you were telling him, this is what I believe, and he was clearly not being honest, at least from what we, he's over here talking, and then he's talking to you, he's clearly not being honest. So it seemed like you wanted him to let her know that it was the two of you guys, and then he also had kind of let her know the same thing. So it seemed like at the end of the day, he's still lying. Like, a guy is still gonna lie.
But I think what people have to understand is, men find it hard. Men are like children sometimes. With women, we think they say men are more logical and we're more emotional, but with relationships, women are more logical and men are more emotional. We want to know the facts and the details.
Right.
I truly believe that if he had told Cheyenne and let her make a capable an adult decision, whether or not she was okay with it, that whole situation would not have occurred. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
She was not aware of the situation, and that's all I wanted him to know. Let her know.
Let her know. I got you.
She was able to make an adult decision, like, I'm talking to you and another woman right now. I've been spending quality time with this lady here, and I her a lot. I'm seeing where it goes. We're not in anything committed, but I like you as well, and we're just dating. Do you see anything wrong with that?
Right. That's real. And men will not do that.
It's hard because everybody doesn't think the same way. Everybody doesn't interpret things the same, and I know that. Well, like a lot of
if you were ready at that point, though, devil's advocate, I know that they're not going to do that, but they're not going to do it because if you were ready at that time and wanted to be with him, right? And he comes and tells you, hey, I'm seeing this.
He would have stayed right there. We saw where he chose. And that's my only thing. If you say you like me like you say you do, choose me always. And he chose. And so that to me showed me a man who could potentially make a great partner, you know, but like I told him, it gave you bad brownie points when, you did not inform her, because the first thing I told you is don't have another female come up to me with anything, especially somewhere public. Like now, I'm out at a hosting and you out with me. Think of how tacky that looks. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a good look. It's not good. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at now? Where are you on Shooter now?
Where we been at, chilling. As y'all saw, we did not we drove off together, but we had words because I was upset and he was too, so it is what it is.
Do you like reality television? Do you like being on reality TV?
It's cool. It has its perks.
Okay.
And it's a double-edged sword.
What about, tell us about, I know you have music coming out. Tell us about your project that's coming out soon.
I do have music that's coming out. I have a song with a female artist by the name of Bree Biasi. It's called Peep Show.
Okay.
It's really hot. It's gonna be a summer little bop for you to do your little challenges too. I also have a feature with Euro Gotti. He's with Authentic Records. I think that's the name of the label. But I have a lot of music coming out. I had to start all over. I want to say to any female that's watching right now, if you're wanting to get in the music industry, is please handle your business up front the right way, because it is serious out here with this music. Like, I thought it was just all fun and games and like, I'm gonna just put my music out. I like putting music out. I'm bop to my music on the radio, and it's not like that. Like, you got to get the business handled up front and then put music out, because if not, then what you will see is, where you get all this fame or you get all this attention and notoriety, and then you're having to battle in court about, who paid for studio time, who owns the song, who owns the person in general, when I should own myself, right? I'm me. I'm the artist. I'm I own myself. But you know, if you don't get your paperwork handled right, another person may own you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
I think nothing is for free is a good lesson to take out that. Anytime something sounds too good, sometimes sounds too good to be true. 9 times out of 10, it's definitely too good to be true. Anything else? Any other words of advice that you want to give young women outside of even putting out music, but just and things that you may have learned? Because how old are you now?
I don't like to talk about age because you know why? Because I just feel like people get too in this generation day and age. Oh, I'm 21 and I'm a business owner, and I'm 30 and I ain't doing shit, and I'm 25 and I'm still alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? A person is smart. There are 21-year-olds who are smart as fuck. There are 25-year-olds, 29-year-olds, 50-year-olds who think like teenagers. Like,
that's true. You're a young woman. What lessons have you learned over the last maybe few years that you would want to share with other young women?
That who, if you're in the business of being in the entertainment industry, it is not easy. It is gonna be hard. And a lot of you may be looking at me right now like, this bitch, I don't know if I curse, but this girl is crazy. And she's an airhead, but let me tell you, I'm very highly educated, very smart. And I think that once you actually get into the real world in this entertainment industry, you'll notice that a lot of people are in these adult relationships. It's not just me. There are a lot of people in adult relationships, and you have to, I'm not saying, I could tell you right now, I've had plenty of engagement rings that I've given back, and I'm very loved. I just want to let everybody know that part. And so what I want to tell young ladies is that
you're very loved. What does that mean? What does that mean? You mean by
like I'm a loved female. Like, there is no, because I see a lot of comments and people are like, she's such an airhead. Does she have a father? Does she have anyone who loves her? Does she have a man who loves her?
Yeah.
She wants to share a man. I don't have to share a man. I don't want to share a man. That is not my goal in life. That should be no woman's goal in life unless that fits for you, because no relationships aren't a one size fits all.
Right.
What may work for one woman may not work for the next.
True.
So I just want everybody to just go with how you feel. Like, if something feels good to you and you're not hurting anybody and you're not destroying another woman or tearing somebody down, then enjoy life. Be safe. And in this industry, take nothing personal, because everything is business at the end of the day. And strive to do your best and save your money. That's the most important.
We all need to be saving our money. So when will the record come out? How can people look for it if they want to support you?
It will be on all platforms. It will be on well, it just depends on what distributor I go with, but it'll be on Spotify. You can follow me on YouTube because it's going to be there. Kiyomi Leslie. Everything that you can find me is my name, Kiyomi Leslie. KIYOMI LESLIE.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to thank you. I want to commend you. When I met you, you were on one show. I want to commend you for being able to really take control of your career. I want to also tell you, as an older sister to a younger sister, what serves you today may not serve you tomorrow. So be willing to always figure out what serves you. Yeah, and just because you do something, tune out. I know that this is a media outlet, but I'm saying to you, don't pay attention to what people are saying. Do what's best for you, and make sure you're not settling in anything when it comes to business, your relationships, or anything. Keep striving forward. And there are some women out there that are supporting you and are rooting for you. And just keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Yeah. Thank you. I think with all the endeavors that I have coming up, you guys will see a different side of me and really see the method behind the madness, I'll say.
Well, that's what's up. Well, we appreciate you checking in with us for Reality Check. We definitely will support the new single. I think people need a little bop right now. Everybody's still kind of on this Corona stuff. So we appreciate you hanging out with us for 30 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. You had a lot of people in the comments that are supporting and want to support when the song is out. We're getting ready to get out of here. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We're out, guys. See you on Friday. Chat.